If you like our video, press the like button. And you can even share it with your friends. And if you have any questions, comment down below. And if you like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Finally. Adios. Adios.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So yesterday we finished all the back burning. So basically we always bank on having a south wind in the spring just because of the way the seasons work. And by back burning all around our perimeter, I can like this and I really have very minimal worries. Our grass around our house and our barn and our hay is all too short to catch fire. So even if it gets to it, it's gonna fizzle out before it does anything. And it's like a 100+ foot barrier of short grass between where the pastures end and where our buildings or hay or anything that's very flammable that we're concerned about would begin. The only thing that we have to worry about here is this burning backwards into the house that you saw earlier on the video, the little 3-acre section. We don't want it to go in there because it's on our property. But as you can see, the wind, the way it's taking it, it's just pushing it straight that way. And when we go light the ditch line over here, so the wind is actually coming out of the south-southwest right now. So when we go light this ditch line, it'll actually push into this as well. So the back burning is really where you make your money. It takes a long time. It took us all day yesterday. We started about noon and it took us, so we own 77 acres here, and it's 1,320 feet from this road to our fence line and that corner. And then it's just over a half mile, I think. I'd have to do the math, but it's like a half mile or so from our corner fence line to the highway over here. And it took us a very long time. We also had a neighbor, Kyle. He helped us and we appreciate that. You really, if you take your time on that and you get everything set right, then the next day it can be a single person that comes out here to light it and just let it go. As you can see, the way the wind's pushing it, it's already moved away from us very quick, and most of this is already burned out, so it's not even going to come this way. So let's we're gonna go up here because I did not like that part yet because I was worried about this house. I want to make sure it wasn't going to come back this way. So let's go light that over here, and then we'll go light the ditch line. So it might be kind of hard for you guys to see. Stay over here. So now you have the same view I do. And I'm watching it, like I said, the wind's coming out of the south-southwest. So as I watch, all I'm really concerned about is if for some reason an animal got back into an area we don't want it to be in. We actually moved everybody's feed this morning to a different location, so that should keep them there for a while. And then the smoke and the flames will actually deter animals from wanting to go back that way. But if for some reason there was one that was special that just really desperately wanted to get back over there, we just kind of watch to make sure that nothing's going to get them, nothing's going to happen to them. Matter of fact, I think we're going to pop the drone up in the air. I don't know if you can all hear it, but that crackling and that roaring wind, roaring flame sound, even me knowing, like looking over here and seeing all this is already burned off and there's no way for it to get anywhere, it's pretty terrifying to think about. If this was out and let's say I didn't have anything back burned, there's no way I would not be able to stop this. It's going too strong and the wind is pushing too hard for me to do anything at that point. That is, I can't stress this enough to make sure that you back burn. I just can't. Back burn, prep as much as you can to ensure that you don't have to worry about it getting off of your property. Now, if you have neighbors that, some neighbors, they all burn at the same time and they just help each other out and they basically make one giant fire, if you have a neighbor that wants to burn at the same time as you, that works out wonderfully. And then you got twice the manpower also. Like I said, there's not much you can do if something like this is going. I mean, the wind is pushing too hard, that grass is too tall and dry to do anything to stop it. So this is the area we're talking about. This is that 3 acres with a house on it. We don't want it to go in there because there's a lot of salt. The cedars, they go up real quick. They're hard to put out. But we're gonna come back and we're gonna light this fence line all the way down because the wind is in our favor. We're just gonna put it out right there where those cedars start and let it go this way only. Remember, be courteous. Don't light your neighbor's mailbox on fire. Alright, so this right here is exactly what we were talking about with... Turn this off. This is exactly what we were talking about with starting it backwards. So we lit right here, straight down. We're letting it go that way, we don't care. But we don't want it to go this way. So all I do is I light it. Once that gets going good, come on the back side, put it out. Put it out until there's no more smoke. Well, right here's still smoking, so I'll move it around a little bit. See something under. We have a very strong wind today. It's probably about 25 miles an hour. It's a good one. So this stuff will all go very well. But without a backburn, there's no way we would have lit today because it's just, that's way too much wind for what we're trying to do. And I'll show you on an overhead map. I'll use an overhead map and show you where we backburned and how we prevented anything from being able to really go anywhere. So if you look at this photo, on the right hand side of the screen you'll see a bunch of black area and there's a yellow line that goes between that black area and the smoked area. So the smoke area is the fire that we lit today, and this wind is actually coming out of the south, so from behind us as far as this photo is concerned. And that photo will show you how the wind is just pushing all that fire straight into those yellow lines. And those yellow lines are where we backburned yesterday. So there's nowhere for it to go. I mean, it wouldn't really matter what happens at this point. It's backburned, you know, hundreds of feet, and the chances of the wind carrying a flame or even a ash that far is almost none. In our case, just because it's not leaves that we're burning. If it was leaves that were being burnt, then it'd be a little bit more of a concern, because leaves will travel a long distance and they will catch fire to whatever they land on if it's dry. So I hope you enjoyed the videos. I hope they're very helpful. If you have any questions about backburning, please, you know, make a comment down below and we'll answer any questions you have. And another tool that I forgot to mention was a leaf blower. A leaf blower is actually a very handy tool to have to stop the fire. It basically it smothers it with air. It's a very good tool. So, hope you enjoyed the videos and I hope it helped you. Please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content.